Okay. We should be live. Let me go down here and clean up the emoji as soon as it pops up. Edit the video. Hey, little Llama Laura's here. Hey, Laura, drone shots. Welcome, welcome. Okay, we should be good to go. So everybody having a good day, I hope. It's a little warm here. It's 88 degrees, but the high humidity. And here comes Mr. Northside Dominic.
Yeah, good evening.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, all right. I can't hang around long because I've got another thing to do in about half an hour. So
Oh yeah, okay.
I get on and say hello and see if you're still on in an hour's time after that. So we'll see how that goes. Just catching up on all the yes. How's the weather there?
Hot.
Okay.
88 degrees feels like 94.
Oh, could do with a bit of that at the moment.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're feeling cold, but
Yeah, but it is a lot warmer.
is it?
Yeah, it's almost in the 50s. Better
Uh-oh.
than being in the low 30s, which is but it's raining.
Hey, Mark White is in the chat. Says
Oh
hello to
no.
you and Laura and Jody.
Yep, I've got the
You got the chat up.
chat up now. Yep.
Oh, I went out earlier this afternoon in the heat and finished the mowing out in the schoolyard. What I finished off so it doesn't look like oddball, but the
Mm.
schoolyard is several acres, you know. And
Mhm.
I can't do that much, but I did probably an acre and a half.
Hey, Steve.
Hi, Paul, Dominic,
Hey,
Laura, Jody, Brian,
Mark,
Steve.
Brian, Jody.
so Steve, how you doing?
Yeah.
So not much going on here. I did a ship early this morning, but nothing this afternoon.
Mm.
I missed one that when I saw it on the screen, boy, it was a pretty one. It was an international federal ship, with the 3 towers and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
But with the sun and everything, it really looked spectacular.
Mm.
Hey, Steve,
Good afternoon.
how are you
Hi,
doing?
Steve.
Doing good. Doing good. Lot cooler weather than the rest of you guys are having.
Oh, really?
Not as cool as mine.
It's only been, I want to say, if low 70s here today, but
Oh,
you go inland to Death Valley, 130 degrees yesterday,
my goodness.
and it's supposed to be
Yeah.
warmer today and tomorrow.
That's nothing.
Right back. Keep an eye on Dominic for me, Steve.
Yeah.
I gotta let me out.
Yeah, Dre was cooking over there in San Bernardino in his neck of the woods over there.
Yeah.
It got up to, I think it was 116.
Yeah. That's the highest I've ever seen here.
Right, it's
Yeah, that's the difference between living only, as the crow flies, a half a mile from the coast and 85 miles from the coast.
Yeah.
65 or 64 degrees here.
Yeah, it's kind of overcast. Been that way yesterday and today. Let's see what it's actually saying here.
We've got above 50 at least.
How hot is it there for you, Renata?
52.
52.
We finally got
Holy
above.
moly.
Yeah, we finally got above 50. Yes.
Yeah, we're 72 here. They're predicting a high of 76. And then back down to the 65 tonight.
She was very hesitant
Sounds
about
great.
going out because she got out there and says, "Oh, it's hot." I said, "Well, in or out, in or out." She looked at me. She looked out there. She went out.
We've gone up from
Big no.
52% humidity this afternoon to 69 now.
Yeah, that's what we've had. We've had the humidity here on the coast.
That's perfect weather.
And we're like 64, 63, 64 degrees. Mind you, it is on 10 o'clock at night now, and it's going dark outside.
I'll take those 60 and 70 degree days all day long.
Yeah. Well, I need a bit of heat at the moment, so I'll be the one complaining in a couple of months.
Yeah. Well, we will be too, because for us here in California, Chris Wedgeworth, who lives up by Lake Shasta,
Yeah.
it was 116 degrees for him up there the other day. And my friend that lives in Sonoma, you've got Napa, Sonoma, the Great Valley's there.
Yeah.
It was 116 last week, and when I was texting him on Thursday, I think it was 111.
Hmm.
They've had some hot weather up north, surprisingly.
The and
Well, I
Laura keeps having trouble. She charges her batteries and then the weather doesn't turn out.
Oh,
Oh, it's been nice today.
I picked up a couple of remotes for my drones because I've been having a problems with that on my Air 3 on the
Yeah.
RC2, with the built-in screen.
Yeah.
using RTMP, it just will not connect with YouTube. And if it does, it goes on and it just drops. So I just bought another controller. Actually got it off of eBay, brand new, a pretty good price for $130 or excuse me, $119, brand new in the box. And then I did the same thing for my Phantom 4 because I want to upload because I've got the Pro Plus.
Yeah.
On a V2 Pro Plus on the Phantom 4. So
Yep.
this I bought just the standard remote without the screen, and
Yeah.
got it on there, and it just finished charging up. And so, I mean, all the plastic was wrapped on it. It was all in perfect condition. It was 169.
Hey, Joe.
Hey,
What's
Joe.
up, Steve?
Hi, Joe.
Dominic? Good morning, good day, Mark. Good afternoon.
Hello,
Good
Joe.
evening.
How are you? Good afternoon.
Good night. Really?
Yeah, good night to you. So it's good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Yep.
That was a quick day.
Yeah, that day's over with.
Circle around the
Yeah.
globe real quick.
Well, today has been a total suck day here. Winds up 35 miles an hour.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how's the wind picking up?
Yeah, we got wind, but we don't have anything because it's not even close to us. I mean, the weather's sunshine with 35-mile-an-hour winds.
The weather's kind of going to go over north of you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to go
Oh.
over the top of us.
God, it's
gonna be
ridiculously
300 miles north.
windy here. 5 mile per hour, gusting to 11.
We're going to get hit by it, they say Thursday.
Yep,
Is it heading more towards Houston?
it's over Houston.
It is. So Brian's getting it then.
Yeah, it was supposed to come into Mexico about a week ago. I said, well, all the things I'm looking at saying between Galveston and Corpus Christi, and it came in between Galveston and Corpus Christi. I went directly over Houston, and it's making a loop coming over just east of Dallas, right over Tyler, Texas, and then shoot straight up right across like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's going northeast.
Yeah, but it's freaking everybody. It freaked everybody out last night. At the last minute, it started going north. It jogged to the north a little bit, and they were saying, sounds like it could be the Louisiana coast. But they got to realize, like I said, I've been watching these things for 61 years, and that sucker will, right before it hits, if you look at a really tight in map, it does a little jog like that, like it's getting beat up by something, and it's going like doing a little serpentine, trying to get to the. Very seldom they come in straight. Very seldom. And then they come out and say, well, if they're going real fast, they don't have time to turn. Oh, hell no, don't believe that either. I saw one last year coming in at 20 miles an hour and made a perfect turn.
Yeah, it looks like it's above Houston now, the center.
What's it running, Joe? 80-mile-an-hour winds?
Averaging
You're on
39
mute,
miles
you
an
know.
hour. And the wind is anywhere from it's up to actually above 90, dead center.
Oh,
Let me see if I can get this over here. I'll
So
share
it's
this.
still a category 1.
Share screen. Yes. Share. See that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. That's pretty good. It looked like it intensified.
Yeah. Well, with
It
all the
spread
heat,
out. It
with all the
wasn't that
heat over
wide.
there.
Well, it did intensify all the way to landfall. I did say that.
Right. Because like here, it's saying, there we are at 90 plus for all this whole area here. That's a big area, 90 plus being at that point. I wonder,
Oh, yeah, that's-
well, hopefully it'll stay west of you.
Well, it's no way it's coming straight across. It's gonna make that loop up.
Yeah.
You pull that one, I pull up. But I haven't even looked at it and adjusted it because once it gets to that point, I don't care. You know, once it's past me, it's usually good. Tropical tidbits. Yeah, this one right here, if I get it to load. It's trying to load. That's one thing about this computer. It'll load in a minute. But there's a one site that I was put onto about 10 years ago by somebody that is a meteorologist that is very good. And he said, look at this site and look at these three things. And this site has been pretty accurate. Trying to get it to load a different way because it wouldn't load.
Hello, Justin.
Hey, Justin's here.
Justin.
And Justin.
Just
That's
if it loads, I'll show y'all. I'll have to leave it.
Justin has solidified his greeting. He always says, "What's up?"
Yeah, it's going to be going up. The rainfall is going to be going up right on the borderline of Texas, Louisiana, and then Arkansas, and then looping up through there, looks like. Here's the precipitation model. Thank goodness it's not too bad. 2 to 4 inches and 4 to 6. Through there. So that part's good, just the winds.
Joe's got a little bit of action along the coast there, though. What's that, Joe?
Down here.
Yeah.
That's why I was wondering if Joe would be picking up any of the rain through here.
Because he's just east of New Orleans. I can't remember the name of the lake that's right there.
Wondering if Joe would be picking up any of the rain through here.
Lance.
Hey guys,
Hi,
Hey,
Lance.
you guys want to see Brian Mackey's house?
sure.
Yeah, I just checked it. I was texting Brian to find out how he's doing.
He sent me this. Let me share the screen. So Brian's house. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh wow.
There's
Again, that happened a couple years ago up and on the backside. I was texting Brian to find out how he.
Exactly why I don't like trees around my house.
and trees are dicks, right?
Mm.
Uh-huh.
Just I think it's stupid to have trees around your house, especially when you're in a
Awesome.
prone stormed area like that.
Mm.
For us drone flyers, that's what we call it. Trees are dicks.
Like I said, people who have trees around their houses in Florida, I think are absolute morons. They're like, oh, let's have 15 big ass trees over top of my house. And then they wonder
I
why
think-
one of them goes to their roof.
I think Ray Kelly's of the same opinion, isn't he?
Hey,
Yeah,
Joe.
Ray Kelly got that.
He ended up with a crushed Mercedes or something, didn't he?
Yeah, over both his automobiles, brand new.
Mm.
Well,
Oh,
the
it
trees
hit
are
his
nice
house
for
every night.
shade.
I mean, they are. I agree with you on that, but at the same time, in an area like this, it's not worth it. The
Oh, yeah.
hassle you'll go through.
Where you guys have all the super high winds, because we rarely get them here. And I took out a beautiful liquid amber in back because the roots put the root guards in when we put it in, and so it was going straight down, kept on feeding it to go down, and the roots worked their way right back up to the surface again, and we're headed for the foundation. So goodbye. And that the part about it is it got put in almost 20 years ago, not quite. So I mean, it was a real full mature tree. Just a real loss losing that beautiful tree.
Yeah.
Avada 2 sucks.
Is that the Avada 2 playground?
Yeah,
You sure it's not the pilot?
watch what happens here. Wait for it.
I don't see it, it's froze.
It's getting closer to that helter skelter.
Okay, can you see it now? It's off in the distance.
Yeah, by that other stand-up unit there.
Yeah, it's coming back.
There by the
Okay.
rails. I see it going up by the post.
Yeah, okay. Now watch it. Wait for it. Come on back. Come on back, drone. The pilot sucks. Come on back. Come on. Come on. Here we go. Come on. Come on. Okay, the suspense is killing us. Come on.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh, geez. That's why it sucks. Stop sharing.
nah, just practice.
Joe,
practice,
Joe, that's
practice.
not the drone's fault. That's the pilot's fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the pilot sucks too, so.
Greatest drone in the world. Avada 2.
And then I would show you my walk of shame, but I won't.
You can see it right up here. That's the Avada 2, the one with 3 drones on top. I got the Avada 2,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Mavic 3, and the Avada 1.
I'll be right back. Chris is calling.
Okay, Stephen. Hey, nice see you, Steve.
Even. Real formal, ain't
I am.
you?
So Justin, now the kids are all back home now?
Yeah, they've been home.
They've been home and you've chucked them out already.
A few times almost. Just organizing my toolbox right now. Getting everything back organized again.
The yeah, there isn't any ships really. Right now, I missed the one earlier because I was stranded in the bathroom, but
Hmm.
Okay, you see these stairs? They're brand new. They won't be there in one season. They'll be down here at the bottom.
Now, first off, there ain't no reason I go up and down them stairs.
so why would you?
Well, to get to this place you would want to.
I guess I'm never gonna be there.
Okay. So this is down, my cabin is over here to the right, but we're on the beach. We're not up here. In fact, as I pull back here, we're down here where my arrow is.
Well, my question is, what are the people up there build it every year?
This one's new, but this one here, you see this one over here? It's been here a couple years. It's survived because it's being protected by all the foliage.
Shrubbery.
Yeah. But this one won't last. This will be gone next season. And I bet that's a $20,000 staircase.
Oh, I guarantee.
But see the dog coming down?
Yeah.
The dog's coming down the staircase. This has been here, I bet 5-7 years maybe. when I first started coming up here, there was an black iron rod fence at the bottom, or staircase at the bottom, crushed. Very first year I ever came up.
So can't they carve one into the rock?
Yeah, good point.
This is shot with my sphere on the Air 2S. So Paul, you need to get a sphere.
That rock looks very white. Is it limestone?
It's soft, whatever it is. This is going to be down at the bottom in about 5 years. They had a deck right here. It's already gone. So right in there, you see where it collapsed right here. But that
If it-
house, that
If
house,
it's soft, it's more likely to be sandstone.
yeah, they've already moved that house back one time. And my cabin is about right there, right in here. In fact, that's it right there, with the white deck.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where I shot my fireworks the other night. Of course, on the 4th of July, so it would have been 4 days ago. And then these kids here started bothering me. They came over and wanted to look in my. I had to kick them. I had kicked the kid in the legs to get away from me.
I guess that's one advantage with wooden framed houses and dry walls and stuff like that. You can actually move them.
Oh, you can kick kids?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. These kids right here. These kids right here started bugging me. They
Can't
came
move
over-
out with this.
Came over and wanted to see it.
Hey,
And
Warren.
Mom was right.
What?
Actually, they were real interested. I said, "Yeah, you can do." They wanted me to take it back up, but I didn't. Or
Hey,
Please.
like I said before, Lance, it's not okay to hit a child you don't know, but it
Mhm.
isn't illegal to yell obscenities at them. It might be frowned upon, but not
uh,
illegal.
Well, it wouldn't be right for him being a teacher to talk to any kid that way.
It was a joke, Paul.
yeah, so they came over and they wanted to see the screen, and I showed them, and they were real interested. Mom came over and talked to me and stopped sharing.
Get out of there.
Anyway, I'm in the middle of editing about 5 or 6 different videos, and those are a couple of them.
On 7/16. 21 millimeter.
My Adobe Premiere doesn't want
25
to open
millimeter.
up.
Well, Chris Hope says to say hello to everybody.
Hey, Mr. Hope.
That's it.
Like,
Mhm.
Just a
Don't
lot of
lie.
rain. I could hear the rain pounding in his vehicle as he was driving.
And what part of Texas does he live in? I forget.
He's in Eden, Texas.
Okay, and that's
Be northeast of Dallas.
okay. So he's real close to Oklahoma City then.
Well,
Northeast.
I guess you consider that.
Well, Dallas is 3 hours from Oklahoma City, and he's closer than that. So,
Yeah.
and Steve Hyde and Mackie and I think Joe
Joe.
are all in Houston area.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Alexis is in Corpus Christi.
What?
Oh, is that where she is? I was born in Beeville, which is between Corpus Christi and Houston.
Has anybody heard from Alexis?
She wasn't
Didn't
on
see
Bill.
her on Bill's last
Mind
night.
you, I wasn't on Bill's last night anyway, because he didn't send me a link, so I didn't know he'd changed his mind to go on. So I went to bed after Paul Wedge and Big,
Oh, okay.
and I watched him this afternoon.
Dominic was on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. And Lon and Mike and Don and
We had a pretty good chat.
Lloyd. Yeah, lots of things about the Eru Pru.
Yep. I've spoken to the company, and they believe that by September they will have an approval for the RID module for it, and will be selling in the US by that time.
All right, so they can't use it over there yet without putting a separate remote
Yeah.
ID on it.
Yeah. They're just getting FAA certification now, because it goes on sale in Australia on the 25th.
Yeah.
That's that new one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've been speaking to them for about 3 months. I reached out to them in start of April, because they've been beta testing.
So Paul, this is what you need to get. You need to get this sphere right here.
What?
You need to get this sphere. It's a sphere on the Air 2S.
mind you, they might have difficulty selling it in the UK
Why is that?
because our regulations state that it is illegal to carry or drop anything from a drone,
Oh,
and that has a built-in drop mechanism because it's for taking fishing bait and stuff out.
It's mainly as a fishing drone.
Well, it all depends on how much they make a big deal about it.
Mm.
If
Yeah.
they even, I mean, people could be using it for a long time before anybody realizes it.
Okay, well,
That's false.
It's a massive part of their advertising.
yeah, it is. I've got to drop out, so I'll see you in about an hour if you're still on.
Okay,
hey Dominic, have a good one.
Take care, Dominic.
Wait it
Bye-bye.
out.
But it wouldn't surprise me though if they at some point were to like lean up on it first. I mean, because I think dropping a fishing line is kind of a stupid regulation to have, but you can't do that. To be honest
Yeah,
with you. I mean, that's kind of harmless. I mean, you're not really hurting anybody.
it's made mainly for sea fishing, so that you can take a weight and hook and line out a couple of 100 meters at sea from the beach.
Right. I don't really see the big deal in that. I mean,
That was like the biggest thing was the price was that swell roll drone, because
Yeah, the swell.
that's when they started off with it, the waterproof drone, and then they may have the drop mechanism for it too.
Yeah. The splash drone could land in the water though and then take off again. And the camera was waterproof so that
Yeah,
you could
that's the one I'm talking about.
the Swell Pro splash drone.
yeah,
But
the
this-
one that Dan has, you can actually fly it into the water. It will go
Yeah.
under the water a couple feet and then it'll come back out and you can take back off. It's an
Did Jonathan
FPV Swell
ever
Pro.
buy that?
Isn't that the swell drone?
Yeah,
The
it's an
Swell Pro,
FPV
yeah.
version, and no, Jonathan never got it.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw the one that
John-
you guys were talking about yesterday. No, that was on Bill's channel. Take it back.
Yeah.
Bill was
Yeah.
showing that one. It was only like $900 versus the Swell Roll Pro. I think starts at 1,800 and then jumps up to like 20 some hundred if you want the camera on it.
Jonathan's kind of
The Swell Pro comes with a built-in screen on the controller, and it's totally waterproof to land in water and film underwater. Whereas this one in Australia is just water resistant. You can't land it in the water. It just can
Well, yeah,
manage.
man,
The
you
Swell
can-
Roll, you can actually flip
you
it
can-
over in the water. If it flips
Yeah,
upside down, you can ride
land
it.
it in the water, you just can't take off.
Jonathan's. He actually took his Mini 3 Pro back to Best Buy to buy an Xbox.
Oh, is that what he?
Yeah, he took his back to Best Buy and he used the money to get an Xbox instead.
Hey,
been
no
gaming
sitting on the
with us.
job.
Yeah,
He's,
I'm gonna relax a little bit.
Now,
yeah, he's
where's
been
that?
gaming with us for the last 2 days.
This
That's
is
in Hawaii.
Anini Beach in Hawaii. Kauai.
Kauai Beach.
On what island?
Kauai,
Kauai?
That's
Yeah.
the northernmost of the chain, isn't it?
correct.
You looking for your golf ball, are you?
I am. Several of them.
The HDMI to
Well, that way we got you.
Yeah, that one almost knocked me over. It was like, okay, time to get out.
as I had that damn connector.
Yeah, that was not, that was about 2-foot waves.
Yeah,
Yeah, get out there with 6-foot waves.
yeah, exactly.
Did you manage to get a few rounds in?
You know, I didn't, but I flew over a really nice golf course, though.
Yeah, I saw the ones where you flying the course. Yeah.
Yeah, real hard to get away for 5 hours when it's a family vacation, and I'm
Yeah,
golfing.
Yeah.
And like I say, if I'm going to golf, I'll do it here in California, where it'll only be 72 to 75 degrees, between 60 to 70% humidity, and you won't be sweating your ass off before you even get off the first tee.
Exactly.
True.
Does anybody have the Insta360 on the panel?
I
I've
got
got-
myself know a lot of people who know who have it. Yeah.
I've got the R1 Twin,
okay.
which is modular, so you can unplug the normal action camera lens and plug on a 360 lens.
Is that what you have? The Interest 360?
I have the Insta360, yeah. I was going to ask a question on how people are rendering their video. I crank it up to 200, and I don't know if that's overkill or not.
I tell you who to contact is Sean Oz.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Or even Sean
Or
Hyde.
Ron Lockwood.
Sean Hyde does a lot as well.
Because that's Sean does all the reviews on all the action cameras and 360 cameras. He's been doing it for years. And the other one it would be too is Aldrin Flight Path.
Mm.
But I know Sean, he's really big with it, and so is Ron Lockwood. RL Photography.
Yes, and Aldrin is in San Diego.
Yeah, Flight Path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Casino, how do you say his last name?
Estacio.
Astasio. Yeah.
Yeah.
Aldrin Astasio, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
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 Super nice guy.
Apparently, he's going to the Nevada meetup.
Yeah, yeah. The first time I met him was actually at Spin Up #1. He was there. He came in as a guest. And it was ironic because he had the least subscribers of everybody there. Kelly Shores and Ken Dono, Billy Kyle, all of them that were there. And you look at it now, he surpassed every single one of them, some of them by twice as much combined. Yeah, I met him there, and then I've texted him several times, and I know when I've live streamed, he's hopped onto my live streams a couple of times when the sunset's been going. But we were down in La Jolla Cove, staying right over there at a hotel, and we just couldn't meet it because he was meeting up with some guys, and he was going to stop on to say hi.
He's either not been posting much recently, or my notifications aren't coming through for him anymore.
Part of that is YouTube too. It's been terrible.
Yeah.
Who is that? Which one? Who?
Aldrin.
everybody for notifications on
yeah,
YouTube,
yeah.
but like,
He was with Bob Dempsey about a week ago, it sounds like.
right.
And Bob's going to be with me in about a week.
Oh, cool.
He's coming up and staying for a couple days. And then he's got a buddy that lives right down the street from me.
Huh.
Yeah, it was just a weird coincidence.
Wow. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was going to try to meet up with me coming down here, but he was only, I guess it turned around being one of those, well, we're going to be there for a day or two. And it was like here and back immediately.
Sure.
Mm.
Yeah, I've got my tickets already for the event.
I wish I could go. That's just a tough time as a teacher to leave in November. And if I go
Now,
that far,
Lance, how many years you been teaching?
1983. So is that 41?
Yeah.
That's
42,
it.
41?
The year I started working for Manchester Council.
Yeah, Mark, I bet you and I are about the same age.
I'm 65 in 4 weeks.
I'll be 65 in a couple months.
Youngsters.
Yep. Youngsters.
Mm.
I'll refer to you as the youngins.
Yeah, we're the youngins on the panel. Justin doesn't count because he's a baby.
He's the teenager.
His nickname is Bambino.
Mm.
Yeah, but Aldrin is a super, super nice guy.
Yeah, I didn't know he was from San Diego, and now that my daughter's down there, I thought, well, maybe next time I'm down, I can meet up with him. But-
Yeah, he's pretty good about answering on Facebook, I know.
But Steve, you
Messaging.
and I could meet. I don't know how far you are from San Diego, but
I'm about, well, it depends on where you're at. It's roughly 75 miles.
okay, that's kind of that's a drive for you. That's a 90.
Yeah,
That's over 90 minutes in California traffic.
well, down there it's over that with traffic.
About an hour and 15 minutes.
If you look on the map where
Yeah.
Dana Point is, where that's the picture of the harbor here, if you're looking down the map, if you look at I-5 as it comes in and right as it makes the turn to start heading south, to go south, that's exactly where I'm at, Dana Point.
Okay, yeah. And San Diego State, which is a little,
Oh,
15
yeah,
minutes
well, San
inland.
Diego State is actually on the north side of the San Diego downtown.
Okay, gotcha.
The party school.
That's what they say. My daughter said not for her.
Well, good.
She had to work her tail off too much to do that. Although she said it was crazy. She said almost every night there was, paramedics hauling the kid away. Too much alcohol.
Yeah.
That sounds like LSU.
The worst one out of all of them here is Santa Cruz, Santa Barbara, actually, not Santa Cruz, Santa Barbara. That's the big party school. That even beats San Diego State. And what was really funny is my ex-wife, it was her half sister. We took her up for her freshman year to take her up to Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo.
Yeah.
And we're in there. So we're in there for the orientation with her mother. Her and I were, because my wife had to say she was pregnant with our son at the time. And the doctor had him on no travel. So I went up there to help her get moved in. And we're sitting there during the freshman orientation. And it says, can anybody tell us something special about this campus compared to all the other campuses on the Cal State system? Does anybody? There was like 4 of us out of maybe, I want to say 200 people in this room. And the guidance counselor who was there and points at me and says, what can you tell us about this campus? I says, well, besides having great food on weekends, it's dry. And all of a sudden you heard all these kids going, what? Because over there, my sister-in-law at the time, she had a Corona bottle in her room, as a bud vase, and she got written up for it, for having a empty Corona bottle as a bud vase in the room.
So when you say dry, you mean no alcohol, kind of like
No alcohol.
the 20s?
No alcohol, period, on campus.
Yeah.
But yet you go into town and it's Party City. Hello, Johnny.
I missed that clear water.
Yeah, so this is the Insta360 in a housing, and this is a 360 video, so you're seeing 360 view right now.
Mhm.
But if you go to my website, you can see it that it's not a 360. But I don't like the new dive case that I have because it shows too many of the stitching lines.
Mm.
But I just thought I'd check this out. I haven't seen it this way yet.
Well, that's to talk, like I say, to Ron Lockwood or to Sean, and they'll help you with that to get rid of that stitching line.
Sean already got back to me and said that he exports at 200, or he says the highest amount, which is 200. So that's good to know.
Oh, good. Yeah, he's pretty quick. If he's not working, he's really fast.
Yeah. Where does he live?
He's up in Dillon, Colorado,
Okay.
where they had Spin Down 2 years ago after they had the spin up got kind of canceled. They had the Spin Down, and he ended up there in the summertime,
Okay.
right on the lake there, the pavilion.
Yeah, I was going to say he's up in the mountains anywhere as snowboarding is.
Yeah. Well, he's around what 5 major ski resorts.
Yeah. Because if he's not doing the drones, he's doing snowboarding.
Exactly.
I tell you, when I lived in Hawaii, I wanted to do, it was no cameras for underwater except for the bigger ones when you had to buy the real ones. And I wanted to do that so bad. I was trying to find every way possible to put a camera in a bag to go underwater.
Mm.
They've come a long way, haven't they, Joe?
Well, I'm telling you, I wish they had GoPros back then.
Yeah.
'Cause I was in the water. I was there for 3 years. And out of those 3 years, I was probably at least 2 or 3 times a week we were in water somewhere.
Beautiful
Sean
diving
Oz
there,
get-
though.
Didn't he get injured not too long ago from his snowboarding?
What was
Somebody
that?
saying- Sean
I think-
Oz, didn't he get injured not too long ago pretty bad?
Yeah, I think
Something?
he did.
Broke his
He
collarbone
got
or
his
something?
injury came from when he was on his one wheel, when he broke his
Oh,
shoulder.
okay. Yeah,
That was
I
on a
heard,
one wheel, hit a rock.
yeah, I heard something about that not too long ago. He had gotten injured, fell off or something.
That was a while back.
Yeah, he broke his collarbone, didn't he, and something else?
Yeah, he broke the collarbone, had the surgery and everything,
Ugh.
and then he came back over here, and that's when I ended up meeting up. He stopped by and met up with me, and we went flying and went to lunch. And here he is recovering with a broken collarbone, and he's out there test riding another one wheel at the manufacturer in San Diego.
Oh, yeah. You were the one that told us. Yeah. Now I remember. I remember that now. I was gonna say, I remember somebody telling us that. And
It was
I
like,
remember you.
hello. At least wait till you heal. You got all the plates in your shoulder.
Yeah. So, like, how far away from Art is he then?
I'm sorry.
How far away would he be from Art?
He's way up the hill. Art's down around Denver, and Dillon is up the hill from there.
Yeah.
It's an hour and something.
Right. Mm.
Yeah, I've lived long enough to see a lot of technology changes.
Mm.
Oh, I was gonna ask you, Joe, how's your granddaughter doing with that camera I sent?
Well, I brought it over there that one time. I've got to get over there in the daytime. Every time I go over there, it's dark. So I'm gonna have to get her somewhere where we're out in the middle
Well,
of
you know,
something.
you can, it's got the little grooves on the front where you put a flash in there.
Yeah. But I downloaded the manual because I said I'm doing something wrong with it because I couldn't get I was actually using the brightness wheel wrong, the opposite way.
Okay.
Because I was
Yeah.
looking at it and it looked like the lens was opening up on the dark side, meaning, okay, it's dark, so you need it darker. Because it looked like it was opening, but it wasn't. It's got to go the other way. You got to keep it on white for the lighter picture.
Yeah.
We only shot about 4 pictures with it.
They turn out?
2 of them did because I got a little bit better with it.
No, it's like anything else. The more you use it, the better you'll get.
Mm.
There you go, Lance. This will show you where it's at.
Okay.
There's I-70 going up Lake
Uh-huh.
Dillon. This is it right here. It's right off the main freeway, and Denver is all the way down over here. He's a ways away
Mm.
because this is going in before you get up here to Eisenhower Tunnel, going through the real high area.
Hmm.
But it's let's see if I can go here real quick. Let it load. Sorry for the computer running so slow. I'm rendering a video of the harbor I flew the other day. Wow, a lot of cloud cover. Yeah, but the town here is there's the town that he lives in, and it's real close off the freeway here.
Mm.
So he came to see you or you went to see him?
He came by to see me.
Okay.
I
Hi,
mean,
Johnny.
we've seen him so a couple of times at the different spin ups, and I've seen
And
him
JD
here, and then
and Dusty.
Where
Warren.
did I get one of these retarded ass fucking sockets from? Yeah, when's the last time y'all seen one of these stupid things? I don't even know how I got it.
Sunstar.
The
What
hell
is
it?
It's one of the Gator ones. It's supposed to be a multi-socket.
Oh,
It's supposed to fit different size nuts. You just press it down in there. And it's got
Yeah.
these little metal bars. It was an seen on TV product. I don't remember ever buying it.
Oh, is it the one with all the metal pins in it?
Yeah,
the pins they spread
it's
around
a
it.
1/4 inch to 3/4 inch or 7mm to 19mm.
Yeah.
you just put it over the head of the bolt or the nut, and it
Yeah, and
conforms.
then it forms around it, but they're really
oh,
shitty.
Sunstar.
A lot of times
Johnny-
people will
Johnny
use them the first
Dronefire,
time
I
and
said
it
no to
bends
you
them.
earlier, but
I don't know where the hell that came from.
now
Yeah,
is that Tito there on your lap?
I have
So-
got one of them somewhere in my toolkit in the garage.
I'll keep it just for the hell of it. Why not? I'll
Joe-
use it
Joe,
one day
which
and
one
just
is
break
that?
it. Just reorganize my damn toolbox.
This Tina.
Tina.
Just organized as hell.
Yeah, I turned around because Justin was getting ready to leave. I turned around, he jumped up here in my lap.
Ah,
Yeah, they were all barking at Justin when he was leaving, and he ran over, I turned, and he jumped right up on my lap. That's my main man right here. That's show him your face. Show him that face. Look at that. Who needs mistletoe with a face like that?
just a minute. I'll
Rather kiss a girl than make out
spotlight
with
you.
a
There
dog.
you go.
Look at that. That's my main man right here. That's my man.
Joe,
Sure is
you
a
know he
floppy bundle.
sucks. Just like the Avada
Yeah,
too.
he fucking complains about the dogs every day on here. He's like, "Oh, I'm
I
gonna
know,
sell
but
them. I'm gonna
he's
get rid of
always
them."
loving on him.
Oh, look at this. He give me some love and look.
Back
All
where you
fun and
nicknamed
games till
him
they
Avada
steal.
too.
Yeah, it's all
There you
fun and
go.
games
That's
till
a
they
flight of our harbor.
steal a treat out of Joe's hand.
Ooh, nice.
How many vessels, boats are in there?
Well, it used to be 2,409, and that's where the controversy comes in. The lawsuits are coming in and everything else because they can only lose 155 slips, but we've calculated they've gone
Be nice to
87 over that amount more. So the new design that you see coming up here on your right-hand side here, just before the bridge on the right, that's the new, that's the new configuration. Those are all brand new docks.
Ah,
And then on the other side of the bridge, on the left, you'll see just a bunch of pilings in there. That's the next section that's going to be starting to get assembled.
I see the pilings, yeah.
Yeah, so everything on the right-hand side, those are all new docks from there all the way down.
Yeah, just look it up on
Oh.
up on YouTube, the
So they'll
Gator,
be able to put a couple hundred more boats in there.
called the
I said go.
Gator
Oh, yeah.
socket.
What are you
think.
flying, Steven?
What was that?
What are you flying? Is this the Mavic 3?
Yeah. I flew it down because we want to use this as far as you can see all these vacant slips. They're saying that the wait list is humongous and it hasn't gone down at all. But we know people that have been like number 80 or 90 on the list that have been calling up and say that there's a slip available. And you can see all these empty slips as you see it coming up there on the right-hand side.
Now, are they reserved slips though? Like somebody's
they
already
paid
purchased
slips?
them, but they
In
just
other
don't have
words,
a
you're
boat there?
on a wait list. Yeah, you're paying for a slip.
Okay.
And then you get a
What's
better
up,
shot of
Sunstar?
it here. I'm gonna let this run just for a second more. It's actually gonna turn around. I'm gonna fly the other direction and it's actually faster. I was just going real slow. And you'll see all the empty slips there on the left-hand side there now. No one's in there and they're saying, oh, we've got all these people waiting on the wait list.
Well, the only thing is you and I both know there's people that have more money than they do brains. They could have leased those slips and just pay them automatically.
Well, a lot of the bigger slips, like all these here on the right-hand side, that's all has to be replaced yet. That's the old slips. So on the left-hand side of the new, you can see where the pilings are in. There on the right, just before the bridge. And then the new configuration is there on the left-hand side, on the other side of the bridge as we're going to be crossing here. That's the new configuration. So it will be like that all the way down to where we're going. And then everything on the right-hand side, none of that's been touched yet. They're actually making really pretty good progress on it. Because what they're doing is they go in there and the docks are made and then they're brought in and then all they do is like a Lego set. They just lock all together and they assemble. They just float them in. They push them down the main channel.
Yeah, it's a, what do you call it? Like the
Well, they're called
manufactured
floating
homes.
docks, yep.
Yeah, because
Yeah, like the prefabbed homes.
yeah, it is in essence. That's exactly right, Justin. And all the pockets are in it for power, cable, everything are in there. That's all in there.
The only thing I don't like is I didn't see any poles I could fly my bot into.
You got a lot of masts you can fly them into.
Oh yeah, boy, I tell you what. That's the one thing when I'm flying the Mavic 3 around the little harbors they got out here. I got to remember the sailboats in there. I always make sure I stay at least 80 feet.
Yeah, Dre Dre flew the harbor for me and mapped it. So now I've just got to get the information and start the measurement process now that he mapped it of all the day use motor parking that we have in here. Yeah, but it was fairly busy down there on what was that? I flew it. What's the day? I think I flew it on the 5th. Yeah, Friday. I flew that on Friday. So I got to get it posted up and unlisted to our board of directors so they can sit there and look at all the empty spots in there. So Lance, when are you coming down next to see your daughter?
We're taking her back in August,
Uh-huh.
and then we're
Oh,
gonna go
that's right.
back
It's
in-
summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna go back in October. And so those are our next two trips. So if you want to try to get together, let me know.
Yeah. Which way are you coming into San Diego?
Say that again?
Which way are you coming into San Diego?
From Seattle, you mean? Is that what you mean?
Are you flying in or?
Yeah, we fly.
Okay. Flying into San Diego International. Well, that's a nice place to see, is right up there on top of it. If you were landing coming in, that's a cool place. If you've never been there, is Balboa Park up there, Lance, if you're over there. To go there with your family or daughter, there's a bunch of museums up there. There's huge, the San Diego Zoo's up there, but there's the Aero Museum up there. There's natural history, there's auto, there's outside Oriental Gardens, there's just model railroad. I mean, there's all these museums and everything that's up there in Balboa Park. It's a fun place to spend a day.
Yeah, we did that when she was about 5.
Oh, okay. You're
But,
familiar with the area then.
Yeah, but she was 5, 15 years ago, so
Mhm.
sure it's changed.
Because then you got the old, if you're in the theaters, you got the Old Globe Theater down there for like Shakespearean theater and stuff. A lot of cool places. And of course, getting down towards the coast, towards La Jolla. Have you been there?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
we love La Jolla.
Yeah. The cove there is beautiful.
Yes, it is.
I was one of the places that Aldrin's flown is the Veterans Memorial Park at the top, which is, oh, what's the name of it? Drawing a blank. He's flown it up there when we were down there earlier this last year. We'd gone down just to get away, and I was going to go flying over there, and then lo and behold, they have the air show over there at Miramar, so they had PFRs all over the place.
Oh, do they? Yeah.
But it was just on the borderline of where we were at, but they were having a huge I want to say a reverence ceremony there for some veterans and stuff. So I didn't take my drone out to fly. I was going to respect them. And I didn't fly the memorial up there because that's a cool place to fly the memorial.
Okay, hey guys, I'm gonna jet out of here. I've
Hey,
got a couple
Lance, hey,
things I've
thanks
gotta
for
do.
stopping by.
Hey,
Hey, Lance.
nice chatting with you guys. Enjoy, go fly your drones.
You do the same. And thanks for sharing your Hawaii pictures.
And Stephen, thanks for the all the info on San Diego. Let's keep in
Yeah,
touch, maybe
Yeah,
August
Steve,
or October.
Steve,
anytime.
when Lance was in Hawaii, they were walking, he was having withdrawals, right? So they were walking up and saying aloha, and he was saying avada.
Okay, yep, that was me.
Okay,
Yeah.
Lance, bye.
Okay, guys, we'll see ya. Bye now.
Take care.
Hey, Lance. And y'all were talking about Las Vegas. Shoot, that'd be a perfect trip for me. My sister lives there, so I wouldn't have to worry about a room.
Well,
You know, so I
where it's going to be at is, well, depending on where you're at.
Yeah, I mean, right about where's that?
Oh, okay, they're in Henderson.
She lives pretty close to Dempsey,
To where?
to Bob Dempsey.
Oh, okay, yeah, because it's at Henderson. Actually,
Yeah.
our family had a timeshare. It's right over by the MGM Grand, but I don't want to drive from downtown and having to get out over there and deal with traffic and parking. I said, nah, just going to stay at the hotel.
Yeah, she was more, I think, southeast of the city
Okay.
because she's
Yeah,
been out there. She's been out there for, man, she's been out there for 40 something years, 50 years.
Wow.
Yeah, Marcus is staying at the hotel as well, and his sister lives in Vegas.
Yeah, Marcus got all kind of money. He don't care. I think Marcus prints the money.
It's the fun of staying in a hotel in Vegas.
Not $170 a night.
Oh, that's a ghetto hotel. Those prices.
No, that's a special they got. That's a
It's a
special.
resort. Yeah,
Yeah, but
it's
I'm
out.
saying go to like the Wynn Casino, and that's a ghetto ass room. You're gonna spend like
Yeah,
five,
but
600 a night.
it's outside of Vegas, isn't it? It's not actually in the
It's
middle of it.
It's what they call Henderson, Nevada.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like going out towards Hoover Dam, and Lake Las Vegas is out there.
And when I mean ghetto, I don't mean nice. I'm just saying that's ghetto for Vegas.
Mhm.
Well,
As far
no,
as
Henderson
hotel
is not
rooms go.
ghetto. In fact, they're going to
No,
be.
no, it's a joke. I'm just saying
I
it's a
know.
joke. It's
But
'cause,
there
some of the
are
high-end
the ghetto
casinos-
sections.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing about Las Vegas is there's the strip and then there's downtown is the
Right.
old stuff, you know?
Well, I'm saying there's the really high-end places like the Wynn and stuff like that. Those are very expensive casinos.
Those are the cheap places now compared to the high places that are there. In fact, did you hear the Mirage shuts down on the 17th period and Hard Rock is going to rebuild there?
Yep.
I heard they were just taking it over. Are they actually tearing it down and rebuilding it?
Yep.
Rebuilding it.
Oh, okay.
They're-
I thought they were just repurposing the building.
I thought they were too, but no, they're saying they're tearing it down and it'd be the 2027 when it
A lot of times
reopens.
it's cheaper to do that though.
Yeah, because of, well, just of earthquake and everything requirements, and even though it's not California, it's still the new building codes.
One thing about Vegas, dude. History don't survive in Vegas. Memories do, but history don't. They'll tear anything down just to build something new.
Oh, I
Yep.
know.
That's why they take all the signs of the sign graveyard. It's about the only thing left of any of the casinos.
Mhm. Yeah, you go to that. They got that museum. You can go out there with all the old signs that are over there.
Yeah, the graveyard, yeah.
Because
Pretty cool.
as a kid, that we would always go there for Thanksgiving. My dad, being an electrical contractor, he would shut everything down on Wednesday of Thanksgiving weekend, and we'd get in the car and go on out. And back in those days, from where we live here in Dana Point, we'd get on here and we'd head up, like if you're going up towards Anaheim, but it was Orange, and take the one highway up to the 91 freeway. And then the 91 is what headed east towards Vegas. There was one stop sign there. The next stop sign was Las Vegas. There wasn't
Yep.
even a stop sign in Barstow or Victorville at that time.
Place you wanna stay out of if you're in Vegas is North Las Vegas. Don't go to
Where?
North Las Vegas. North Las Vegas.
Oh yeah. We
That
besides
shithole.
working going there a lot as a kid, but working there, we used to manage all the Vons and Pavilions markets over there for taking care of their shopping carts, maintaining them. So we were out there twice a year.
I
And
did security in North Vegas, and I'll tell you what, that was some sketchy shit.
oh yeah. My ex-girlfriend from years ago. In fact, she lives in Hawaii. She's on Maui over there by the airport. And they said, "Hey, let's go over there one weekend." And we didn't. No one checked. I forget what it was, but there was some big convention in town, and they tried to get a room and couldn't get they got a room, but the first night we couldn't get in because we got there. There was no room available for the first night we got into town. So we were downtown. I didn't sleep the whole entire night, man. Gunshots going off. Something going, nah, I'm gonna stay awake. So I know which way to listen and take off in the opposite direction.
Good. Got some spicy chicken sandwiches for dinner.
I should know tomorrow who that officer was that froze. Justin said he's gonna find out tonight. But apparently, what they're saying, the body cam showed was
Mhm.
that he got out the car. A woman was screaming on the inside of the house. A woman opened the door, came running out when she saw the police call, heard the police call come up, came running out the house saying he's trying to kill me. And the officer was looking at the woman when the guy came out and started shooting her. And he took cover. The officer
Well,
went
he
behind
was shooting the woman, right?
Yeah, he was shooting the woman. The guy was shooting the woman. And apparently the police officer took cover and instead of returning fire, took the taser out and tried to tase him while he was shooting the woman
Where is this?
in Mandeville, right here.
Wow.
Happened Friday night. Second police officer that was driving up came out the car firing and killed the guy.
That's it.
And the first one, like I said, completely did not do protocol. Because like Justin said, he said, she comes running out the house, my hand's on my gun. As he comes out the house, my gun's out. And if he's got a gun in his hand, I don't
Pointing
even
at
say
her.
drop the gun, I'm shooting. If he's shooting, I'm shooting. He
That
says,
was
I'm hollering, I'm hollering, show me your hands, drop the gun. And if he's still coming, I'm shooting.
That's the kind of like in Texas where it showed this guy coming into it was a restaurant, and he goes in there and starts robbing people and getting everything from them, and he turns around and you see the one guy and his back is towards where the surveillance camera was, towards the front door, and this
Right.
guy turns around and he picks up some stuff off the ground that they threw down at him. He picks it up, and the guy's here in the booth. The guy walks by him this way, boom, dropped him right there in the restaurant.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah, I saw that. That was a good one.
Yeah, it's been coming up a lot lately.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, Jonathan
Yes.
Jackson, how you doing?
Jonathan, what's up, family? Yeah, if it would have been me,
Hey,
say I'd have been the
Jonathan.
next door neighbor and he come running out shooting like that, and I was standing there and I had a gun on me, I'd probably be shooting too.
Yeah.
I'd take them out. What they gonna do me? I was telling Justin what happened yesterday yesterday when I was out in Slidell. He said, yep. He said, I'm glad you started to bring it with you again. Because around here I wasn't carrying a gun.
Mhm.
Because 90% of the time I'm going to a school. You know, so I don't carry. Now he said, stick it in the back of the car if you're going to the school. Just leave it in the car.
Yeah.
He said, just leave it there. They're not gonna. I had it on one time in the school. Didn't realize I had it on. And police officer walked over, looked at it, and said, "Please leave." You know, please leave. I
Yeah.
said, "Okay, I'm out. I'm out." I didn't realize it was there. I forgot to take it off. But I was out flying the drone yesterday in Slidell, and it was a couple of guys walking across the parking lot that looked kind of sketchy. And one of them comes walking and says, "Hey, bro, what's that, a drone?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "Man, what kind is that?" I said, "It's a DJI." And he said, "Those things expensive?" I said, "Yeah, really." And he started walking towards the car, and his friend didn't walk towards the car.
Uh-huh.
So that was my tip off right there. And I
Yeah.
said, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah, they can be expensive." Like that. And I turned around. As I turned around, he seen the gun sitting next to me. And he said, "Oh, they're pretty cool." And he walked back towards his friend. I told that to Justin. He says, "Yeah, you wouldn't hit that gun with it. They'd try to jack it." The Slidell, some areas of Slidell, it's pretty bad. I was in a relatively safe one.
You were in the fringe.
Yeah, it looked like a couple of Cracker Jacks, though. You know, it's the kind that caught my attention when I saw them coming my way, because they weren't even paying attention to me. And then they saw me over there by myself. There was nobody else around. So they started walking to me. You know, see an old man sitting over there, that old man with like 14 bullets waiting.
And that's when you just have your drone turned around and facing them, recording it.
Well, it was close enough that I was far enough away. I wasn't even close to them. I should have brought it back. That'd have
Well,
been some footage. Huh?
you've got a reputation, Joe. Even the raccoons are weary of you.
No, let me tell you. Let me tell you what it is. I'm a magnet. I am a magnet. When I was growing up, I walked into Metairie Bank, and I used to carry a payroll for Southwest Sporting Goods and Toys. And I walked into Metairie Bank, and I had a 357 on me, and we got robbed while I was in there with a 357 on me. And the bad part about it, as the guy came in, he walked up to the cop that was in there and shot the cop in the head.
Wow.
As I reached to get the gun, as I reached to my gun, I couldn't unsnap it where it was. And I turned around, he had everybody on the ground. He took a shot at a pregnant woman.
Oh,
And I'm
geez.
laying there on the ground with my hand on the gun. And he says, "Anybody looks up, they're shot." One guy said something, he took a shot at him. And I know as soon as I pull this, and he's the only one making noise. If I pull the thing, it's going to snap, you're going to hear it. So I'm sitting there and I'm saying, "God darn it, how can I get this?" And I'm like 19 years old, right before I went in the Marine Corps. I'm sitting there with my hand on it. And Melroy says, "Stop shooting at everybody. You can have what you want." He walked over, put the gun in Melroy's face, pulled the trigger, and it didn't go off. And when he picked it up like this, next to him, it went off up in the air. Like that. And when he did, I unsnapped it as it went off. And I got the gun in my hand, and I can't see him because I got people in between us laying down too. And I don't know where he's at. And I'm sitting there. He got nervous, grabbed the first thing the woman put on the counter and took off out the door.
Mhm.
And Melroy looked over at me because he knew me, knew I had a gun. And he says, "What happened?" I said, "Snap, it's locked in." Like that. And the cop was dead. He had shot the cop in the head, walked up and shot him in the side of the head.
Wow. That
You
guy
know,
craves.
and then it was about 4 years later, I walk in on Friday the 13th, the same bank. I tell Melroy, "It's Friday the 13th, be careful, man." Like that. He says, "Shut up. Don't even tell me that." I do my business and I walk out. Now I'm in the Marines. I go home. Melroy calls me and says, "The two guys that you opened the door for coming in, can you give us the description? They just robbed us." I held
Jeez.
the door open for them coming in. I said, "You got to be kidding me."
Well, that's like the gang of raccoons you ran into too when you were out flying.
Yeah, I can't identify them either because they got masks on. I got pictures of them though.
Steve, he was out flying, and all of a sudden he turned around, he hears this rustling in the weeds, and here's how many were there?
Well, there was 2 that day, there was 6 the other day.
The 2 told the 6 about Joe.
There you go. We need
Yeah,
Yeah,
to,
they
they-
start
need
they
to
start
gang up.
surrounding drone. That's a nice looking drone, boy.
Yeah.
Keep them raccoons.
Oh,
No, they were looking for something to eat. I told you. He came up and he grabbed me on my pants leg and I slapped him with my fishing pole. So I didn't have nothing behind me. And he turned back and started hissing at me. So I climbed in the back of the hatchback and just shut the hatchback.
You know what that
I hadn't
tells
even
you?
put the
People have
drone up
been
yet.
feeding them.
Yeah.
If they're that
what they-
brazen to walk up to you and grab you on your leg like that, that means people have probably been hand feeding them.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
there's
what,
a
they,
dump
that's what the
right there
police
too,
said.
isn't there?
There's trash. There's trash cans there too.
I mean, there's trash cans, but the thing is that's not going to make an animal brazen to come up to somebody that brazenly.
Well, that's
That
what the-
definitely shows that somebody's probably. I mean, they probably have somebody out there brings them out bowls of food every day and shit. I wouldn't
Yeah,
be
they're
surprised.
That's what they said.
I mean, there was a lady over here by Sonic for years. There was like 20 feral cats inside this like it was kind of like a treed area, a little forested area that was undeveloped next to Sonic, and she would go in there, and you'd walk in there, and there was a bunch of cat houses in there and bowls of food, and she'd come in there every day with a big old like 10-pound bag of food and feed them. And eventually, Sonic, the property next to Sonic, got bought out recently, and they've torn all that down now. All the cats are gone now, but
Yeah, they spot Joe coming down the driveway and says, "Here comes that sucker, get ready."
Yeah, I haven't gone out there since I saw the 6 of them.
yeah. It sounds like you almost had the same holster I had. I had a Colt Mark III, 357, with this is
Yeah.
which is the 44 frame, 44 mag frame on 357 because it's only got the 2.5-inch barrel on it.
Uh-huh.
And you know the weight keeps it down. And I had kind of like the same thing because when I had my liquor store, going to the bank, we used to do a lot of payroll cashing for the farm workers all in our area here, and going through, put it in, and I'm in the bank, and it's a bank that we've been going through, and everybody knew everybody in the bank. So I mean, there was not a question of me coming in or
There he
whatever.
goes.
That
got
shows you
that
how close
picture,
I
didn't
was
you?
to him. That's how close I was to him with my phone.
Wow.
yeah,
That's
see, and
after I slapped him.
if you don't decide not to feed them, though, that's when they'll get aggressive sometimes.
Well, yeah, when I slapped him with the fishing pole, that's when he backed up, looked at me, and he started hissing.
And you got to watch raccoons too, because they can carry rabies.
Yeah. But look at that. I'll tell you what, he would have made a good hat. But I tell you, that was that day I went out there.
Well,
But you
you
can't
reported
identify
that
them.
to
They
the
all look
police,
alike. They
didn't
got masks on.
Didn't you report that to a police officer?
Yeah, I actually called the Mandeville police. They came out. And and when they came out, they were still walking around right there. And they said, we can't do nothing about it, you know?
Well,
said, "We
not
gotta
unless
get
they
wildlife and
probably
fisheries out."
attacked you. I'm assuming if they attacked you, they probably could shoot and kill it, right?
Oh, yeah.
They thought it was like rabied or something, rabbit or something like that.
Yeah.
They're just not going to go hunt an animal down that hasn't
So
technically done
anyway,
anything.
Steve, he's decided he's not going flying there anymore.
I'm gonna wait until they the wildlife and fishery goes out and take care of it. They're supposed to be going trap them. But then I found out the other day when I went out there, that's when I saw the 6 of them, and all the trash was all over the place where they've been digging it out. So nobody must be feeding them lately. They're just digging in the trash. But I was talking to another police officer that was driving through there, and he says, "Yeah," he said, "I work at night." I think it's Granger. He said, "I work at night out here," and he said, I've been telling them I'm gonna come out with my 22. So I got a silencer for it, and I could take them out with the 22, but they told me I couldn't do it.
Yeah,
the
wait till
police
it bites
department said
one
he
of
couldn't do
y'all
it.
and then you can sue the living shit out of the county or city. for not
Well, this is
taking
what
care
he
of it when
said.
They should have.
He said, we got a bigger problem. He said, the raccoons aren't the problem. I said, well, what's the bigger problem? I said, no, we got gators. He said, that's not even the problem. He says, in that field over here where the gators are at, there's a big open area where it's nothing but weeds and stuff. He said, there's a family of coyotes living up in there. He said, that's the bigger problem. I said, well, why aren't the coyotes taking care of the raccoons? You know?
Mhm.
And he says, he's been out here at nighttime seeing coyotes.
Oh,
So
we
that's
used to
why he
chase
wants to come
coyotes
out.
on our dirt bikes.
Yeah.
They didn't
He
like
wants to go
that.
out and take the coyotes and everything out at night.
You used to chase coyotes with a dirt bike?
Yeah, you come zipping at them on a 2-stroke at 50 miles an hour. Yeah, they ain't having that. They're
They'll
running.
We got one coyote out here. He'll be just trotting down the street because, like, from where I'm at, it's maybe I want to say 100 feet to the top of the state is like a T because we're between two one-way streets and our street is crossed here, and he'll just be trotting down in the middle of the road, just right around 6 o'clock, between 6 and 6:30. He'll just be like,
Doing his thing, huh?
We used to try to chase jackrabbits on our dirt bikes too, because it was actually it kind of would help you a little bit because they would turn on a dime, so you
Mhm.
could teach yourself how to turn your dirt bike really quick. And those fuckers were quick, man. You could never catch them, but you could get right on their ass. But then they would turn just at a second, be the other way.
yeah, they'll jackrabbit right out of there.
Jackrabbits are fast as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even dogs, 99% of the time, a dog or coyote will have issues catching one.
Drone Shot says, hope you're not messing with them poor raccoons.
Yeah, right. Let one mess with me. Tell you, I was gonna take the Daisy Red Rider out there, BB gun, and pop a few of them. That'll get their attention, make them regroup.
Now, when I was doing security in Vegas, we did a week out at the water treatment plant there, and there was a bunch of raccoons out there, and these were big fucking raccoons. I mean, they were huge, and they would do that. They'd come up to you and pull on your pant leg when you were eating your lunch, and you'd kind of just shoo them off a little bit. They never tried to attack anybody, but well, I was only there for a week, so I only encountered them a few times. But one of the other guards that worked there, he'd been there for a long time. He was like, "Yeah, they don't really bother anybody as far as attacking or hissing or anything." He said, "If you just shoo them away, they'll go away."
Mhm.
But
Well,
They
they're
freaked me out the first night they did it.
They must have been semi-domesticated then.
Well, it freaked me out the first night they did it, man. I pulled out my baton, I was about to start beating the shit out of a raccoon. It scared the hell out of me. I was sitting there at the table eating my lunch. All of a sudden, it comes up next to me. I didn't even hear it. It just grabs on my pant leg and starts pulling on my pant leg. I was like, "What the fuck is that?" I jumped up on the table.
Got a mask, Rob. It's a midget.
It's a midget. Midget in a fur coat, right?
Yeah. You see Metairie, Jefferson Parish. Now Metairie is a big city like New Orleans, and it's right next to New Orleans, and it's Jefferson Parish. The canal system that goes through to drain all the main water, full of nutria. The big river rats, right? They were starting to do so much damage. At nighttime, they still do this now. At nighttime, Jefferson Parish Police will go out there at nighttime. They've got their own group that goes out, and they'll go along the canal. If they see them at nighttime, and it's like after midnight, they're out there with their 22s and they shoot. They'd rather shoot them.
Why are
Okay.
they like, do they endanger? Are
How
they
big
not
a rat would they
prone
be?
to that area or something?
No, they're overriding the area, but what they do is they damage all the structure. So if they start eating away, they start eating all
Chew
the
on
structure
stuff.
to hold that levee together. And when they start tearing up the structure of the levee, then you got flooding, you know?
I think that's the problem we have down here with iguanas. They said they do something to the edge of the lakes or something
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
something or another. And there's actually a kill on sight order on those. If you see one, you're supposed to kill it.
Yeah, I've seen a YouTube channel. It's a gal and her husband out there, and they get hired to come take those things out because they're sitting up in the palm trees.
Yep, and I know there's a couple you're talking about too, because they also show you how to skin and eat them too.
Yeah, I mean it's fun watching them.
They do, they show you how to barbecue them and stuff, how to properly cook them and everything. I've seen a couple here and there, but they don't seem to be so too prevalent in our area, but I have seen one or two. One of them ran across the road in front of my work truck one day. It's about 2 car lengths ahead of me and he come hauling ass across the road, but I couldn't stop because it was a 4-lane highway.
Mhm.
Traffic was moving a little too quick, and by the time I realized I saw him, he had run into the bushes on the side of the road, took off. Then another time I was driving down the road and found probably a 2.5 foot gator tail in the middle of the road. Don't know where the hell the rest of the gator was, but
It's somebody eating the gator. I was eating gator. That's what they did.
an 18-wheeler ran him over is what it was, because you could see the track that went right through the like the guts of the tail where it cut it off from the gator. And then you saw a trail going in the bushes, but I couldn't find the gator anywhere. So yeah, I don't know. He must have gone pretty far, maybe died. I don't know. It looked it looked pretty rough. But an
It was a
18-wheeler definitely.
bobtail, it was a bobtail gator, right?
Yeah, he pretty much was in the middle of the road and an 18-wheeler hit him and chopped his tail off from the wheels. You could see the tracks of the 18-wheeler tire right through it. But it was
Okay.
it was on a desolate road that was kind of out in the middle of nowhere. And it was just is this paint manufacturing plant. And we had a gas line that ran all the way out to it, and it was about 20 miles in the middle of nowhere. And that was all that was on that road normally. It was just 18-wheelers.
Yeah, you've got a lot of bugs, big bugs and super big bugs over there.
Got a lot of shit
Yeah.
here that's not supposed to be here too.
Oh, I know.
Our ecosystem is all screwed up here.
Well,
Yeah,
you still
especially
got
the
python
pythons.
stuff out there in.
Oh, there's pythons and uh anacondas, all kinds of shit loose in
Yeah,
the
that they let
Everglades.
loose, and those are not
Yeah.
native. That's for sure.
They're
Oh
native
yeah,
now.
they've found anacondas and all kinds of
That's
shit
a
out in the
nutria.
Everglades.
That's a what?
That's a
Looks like a
nutria.
beaver. Don't look
Yeah.
like a rat.
That-
It looks like a beaver.
That's a nutria. It's it's about the size of Tino I was holding. It's about how big
Well,
they
it's
get.
a good size.
A little bit bigger than you got. About
Okay,
that size. Not like
to
that.
me that looks more like a beaver than a rat.
No, that's a rat. You look at the tail, it's a straight tail.
It's a bit like a koipu.
I don't know. I have no idea what
Yeah,
that
it's cuter than
Yeah.
a standard rat though.
Does-
I'll give it
It
that.
looks like
is.
that. Looks like
It's a cousin offspring. It was a marriage between the two families, Justin.
yeah, it looks like a
Could be.
koipu. to me.
They got bright orange yellow teeth. All of them.
Now, what would they eat? Anything or what?
They eat grass, basically.
Mm.
You're still
And
sharing
that's
your
what
screen,
the
Joe.
problem is. They
Oh,
eat
never mind, I got
grass
it.
and that. And
I got
they get in there and they just tear up the land. They'll go eat all the roots up and everything.
They kind of are like hogs then, huh? Wild
Yeah,
boar.
something like that.
Cause they'll do the same thing, dude. They will rip a yard to piece shreds, dude, in just a couple hours. I've seen one of the guys I worked with at the gas company, I actually used my drone to try to find out where these hogs were coming into his yard. They tore the living shit out of his yard in one night. I mean, just ripped up everything, all his grass, everything, completely destroyed.
Wow.
But they went back into like a swampy area behind his house where you couldn't get to unless you had like an airboat. Like you would literally have to have an airboat to get back there. And
Yeah,
so I
they-
flew my drone back there and we found their little burrow area. I don't know whatever happened after that, so.
Yeah, check out those teeth.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah. And those teeth are predominant, all of them just look just like that. They've got
Your
that
case
orange
of
teeth.
gingivitis.
But I tell you one thing, they taste good in jambalaya.
Now, are they actually part of like the mouse and rat family?
It's
Or
part
is
of a
that
rat
just what they
family.
refer? Okay, so it's not just something they refer to them as rats.
No,
So put in Google COYPU.
COYPU.
I want to put one of those
Hmm.
against a New York City rat, Joe. We'll see which one wins.
Yeah, same thing. Looks same. No,
Yeah.
it says images for that, and they're showing it looks like a nutrient.
It might be the same animal. It's just they gave it a different name over there.
Yeah, they gave it a different name. Yeah, because here you go. Watch this file right here. This file right here had it's. I'm gonna give it to you. It says Nutria, and whatever that is, COYPU photos.
Yeah,
So it's the
Koipu.
same thing. Yeah, same thing.
Mm.
Right there.
Oh
Same
yeah,
thing.
it looks it's exactly the same.
But I tell you, they're mean.
they are, huh?
They're mean. I had one. We were crabbing one night on a fishing pier in the back of the camp we had at Lake Catherine, and we were out there, and it was just getting dark, and we had crabs in a hamper, and a nutria came up there, and he started looking. He could smell the crabs, and he come over to us, and he started making his squeechy sound and all of this. And my brother looked at me. My brother's 8 years younger than me. I was like 16. And I looked at him and I said, just stand behind me. I got this. And I had a pellet gun. So I was going to shoot him with the pellet gun. And what wound up happening was as he started coming towards me, we had an ice chest laying there. I picked up the ice chest, and as he ran up there, he ran into the ice chest, and I closed the top. And I closed the top, and then I put something on top of the ice chest, and he's bouncing around inside the ice chest. And I closed the plug, and he said, "What are you gonna do?" I sat on top of it, and I said, "He's fine. He ain't going nowhere. We'll come get him tomorrow." And the next morning, he had suffocated, you know. But we just left him in there. But I wasn't about. I said, "I'm not about to open that sucker up and let him out.
Yeah.
Leave him
No,
alone."
When you
Well,
were talking about that bank situation and that holster, what I was saying is with the gun that I had, it sounds like I had kind of the same holster you had. It went in, and then as the strap went over the top,
Over the
snap
top.
was in the inside. So as you went down, you flip it towards you. You just push it away, and you can pull it out. You know, you didn't have to lift up. You just push it with your thumb over to pull it out. But it's the same thing. When that snapped, it was loud. You could hear it.
Oh, it was loud.
Well, the thing of it is, can they swim?
Nutrients, yeah,
Rats?
they swim.
Yeah,
Rats?
Koipu, yeah.
Rats can
Yeah.
swim.
Rats can swim as well, yeah. I
They're
think
all in the water out there.
Koipu's native to South America mainly, I think.
Yeah, I think that's where they've all came from. But I mean, I still see them here. Now I saw something yesterday. I saw something yesterday on the road. I actually turned around, went back and looked again to make sure I saw what I saw. And I came very close to, if I'd have had a place to put it, I'd have scraped it up. It was in the middle of the road. It got hit in the middle of the road by Fontainebleau State Park. And I had heard about foxes and all, like we got a lot of fox in Lacombe and that area. And when I saw this thing on the road, I saw something black. And I'm looking at it and I'm saying, what is this? And I get there. And when I glanced at it, I just turned around and came back. And there was no cause there. So I slowed and looked at it. I guarantee it was a mink.
Oh,
It was a
really?
mink. Yeah, because it was long, about this big. And it looked just like a minx, what I've seen of minks.
Yeah, minks, stoats, and ferrets all look very similar.
Yeah, he had that shiny black skin, that hair. I came very close. If I'd have had something I could have put him in, I would have brought him home and skinned it and tried to tan that thing. 'Cause when I was younger, we used to do that. If we shoot a squirrel, we'd have to skin it and tan it. You know, we knew how to do all that.
Mhm.
But I said, you know, I don't have a clue what that thing's got, and I ain't fooling with it. You know,
Yeah.
Dominic.
I'm back.
Dominic is
Hi,
back.
Dominic.
He's returned.
Does Mink
Yeah,
still
oh,
have the
What have I
same,
missed?
like,
Sure.
high-end
How many
status
hours
he
you
used to
got?
have?
So all the girls got their money straight? I picture
Yep.
I picture Dominic sitting there like Michael Keaton and Henry Winkler in Night Shift, sitting there and checking with all the
Yeah,
girls.
I remember that movie. Great movie.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, we had some sad news over here. Is it was last week. A couple from New Zealand were here visiting at a shopping center here in Newport Beach called Fashion Island. Very,
Yeah.
very high-end shopping center. And a robbery was going down. And when they were, at first it came out that the one victim was shot. But it ended up in the getaway, ran over the woman and killed her. They were here visiting and they were there shopping, and poor lady got hit, run over, and killed her.
Well, that's a shame.
That's not nice.
No. You know, and there was a couple that had been wanting to come here to the States to visit. You shouldn't have come to California, unfortunately. I hate to say.
There's a lot of places not to come to anymore.
Well, did you see the footage up in Oakland from this weekend?
Not yet.
Across there, you know, the In-N-Out burger that was there is shut down.
Right.
I don't know if you guys know a guy that he's the conservative news broadcaster on Rumble and YouTube, Benny Johnson. They went up there to do a special to videotape the area where it got shut down with. So they got to rent a car. One of the guy is in the car and they're all set up with the cameras and they're filming this whole entire thing. All of a sudden they hear this boom. Their car got busted into while they were up there filming this documentary, and the guy that was inside reached over because they busted the passenger driver's window. He reaches across because he's in the passenger seat, grabbed the backpack as he's trying to grab it and yanked it away from him. And he starts to get out of the car, and the guy takes off running. So they called the rent-a-car company, and the guy just more or less laughed in his face. He goes, "That happens 5 to 7 times a day. Bring it on in. We'll get you a new one."
Wow.
So here it is on Thursday night or Friday night. Right across the street, there's a liquor store there. Between 60 and 70 people broke in and looted the place. And it's all the videotape footage. You can see them all running around on the inside, right across the street from it. And they have on-guard security in the shopping center where the In-N-Out burger is they shut down.
That's what a Gatling gun's for.
Yeah. They just busted right down through the front door and went on through.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Need a Uzi, I'm telling you. A 3-second burst, they'll stop. Happens 2 or 3 places, they'll stop, I'm telling you.
And then, of course, it's all of them that want their reparation for slavery.
Well, one person said that that they're hungry, they got to eat. No, that's not the way to do it. Go to work.
That's right. In the first place, California never had slaves. If you want to say if they had slaves at any time, it would have
Yeah.
been Chinese when the railroads were being built.
That's right.
That's when, if you want to consider them, what they call they call a terrible name, but they call them the coolies, the Chinese coolies that were over here working the caves and
Yeah,
the railroads during the gold rush.
Yep.
But now it's up to, it was at 3 million a person. Now it's up to $5 million a person. That they're saying that they should give this money to African Americans in Oakland.
How would they even afford that?
They can't.
They can't. They can't afford to pay the bills. Our governor finally signed a bill that he was showing a almost $98 million surplus, and it signed it with a deficit of 37 million. He signs it and then turns around and declares a financial state of emergency.
Yeah,
Fuck's
that just happened.
Yeah, it's just a week before last.
They
Isn't
need
that
to hurry up
crazy,
and put him
though?
on a presidential building.
Like I said, you look at the ways states are ran differently. And it's crazy that a state like Florida can be so in the green and have excess billions. And they don't even have a state tax on people's paychecks.
And we're one of the highest.
Yeah, and
Well,
you guys are extremely in debt. Like that's just, I don't understand how you can, a state with really low taxes to almost no taxes can be so profitable, but then a state that has some of the highest taxes is the one that's hurting for the most money.
Yeah.
That's just, it's weird.
And then you've got the county taxes too, like Los Angeles County has a tax on top of the state tax.
Oh, Jesus.
Here in
Christ.
Orange County, we don't have a
So
county.
you're paying 3 different taxes out of your paycheck?
Not your paycheck when you
Sounds
go,
like here.
when you go to buy something. In other words, we're flat
Okay, I thought you.
for sales tax.
Right.
We're flat 7.75% here in Orange County.
Where we've
In
got a 10%.
In LA, you could be up to 11% because of the base and then the city or the county tax on top of it.
Jesus.
We've got one tax on top of another. We've got a GST, which is a goods and services tax, which is put on virtually everything. I'll be back.
And we're going to the point where we're actually making, where the governor here wants to make everyday household items and school supplies tax-free all the time.
Are you
You
talking about that tax, Dominic?
He's on the phone.
I think he's talking about like kind of he said some kind of surplus tax or something that's on everything.
Goods and products tax, he was saying.
Yeah.
Same as
That's what he puts that 18% tax on each girl.
it's about the same as our VAT
Jesus.
value added tax that they add to all.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, because
Like-
I know when we were visiting over in Ireland, you get charged it, but then you apply for it back. You get this
Yeah.
card when you do your shopping, and it's keeping track of everything you buy, and then they credit it back to you.
Yeah, because not
Yeah.
only does Florida have a few $billion of excess money, but they've also gotten the state debt down by over 70% over the last 5 years.
Yeah.
But the
That's just,
VAT
it's
is
crazy.
20%.
But see, you got to remember, here in California, all they do is they just keep throwing money at a situation that he can't fix. When Newsom was a mayor of San Francisco, at that point in time, he had spent $5 billion, and it went up by 65%, the homeless rate when he was there. And now we've got the same thing, and it's gone up by almost the same percentage statewide. Now, this is not counting everybody that's coming across the border.
And like I said too, it's not like we're paying a high sales tax. We're paying 7% across the board for everything.
That's cheaper
So
than here.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's crazy how we can bring in, like obviously Florida brings in a lot of tourism, but so does California.
Well, that's the whole thing you got to look at too. If you look at all these movie studios and everything else, their films are not made in California anymore. They're filmed either out of state. Georgia used to be one of the big ones. Now they're even going back, but a lot of them are going out of the country to Canada. So as far as Hollywood and that end of it, a lot of that
Just-
stuff has gone out of the country for all their production.
Yeah, it's just a base of operations pretty much for,
Yeah, exactly. It's like
Yeah.
my home office, but everything I do is out of the country.
but you, like I said, you guys still draw a lot of tourism. You guys got Disneyland, you guys got Six Flags, you got San Diego, you got the Bay Bridge, you got Hollywood, which brings in a lot of tourism, you know, the
Oh, we
Hollywood
got
sign, the Walk of Fame. I mean, you guys got a lot of historical stuff that people want to go see there.
sure. You got the big national
So,
parks. You got, you got
Yeah.
Yosemite. You got the redwoods. You got, a lot of.
there's so much there, so it's not like you guys couldn't be in the same boat as Florida. I mean, at the end of the day, but I think a
No,
lot of it is of the
just get
over
rid of every-
regulations
Get out of everybody out of Sacramento, and we could.
and the regulations. I think is really what's hindering California. The amount of regulations you guys have on shit is
Well,
ridiculous.
that-
Like here, dude, I go to the DMV and I pay or $34 a year for my vehicle, and that's it. I don't have to get it smogged. I don't have to do any of that shit. I literally just go to the DMV tag agency and they say, you want a 1 year or 2 year? 2 year. I'm out in 5 minutes. And that's it.
Here for a new excuse me, for a new vehicle, it was let's see. My cousin just got a car. I'm trying to remember what he told me. It was like $580 some for the registration.
Yes, that's nuts.
And then you have to have it smogged every other year. And then you have to pay the fee every year. But it does reduce a teeny bit each year.
It's still nuts though, man. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah. And then you have what they call the luxury tax. So
Yeah,
one of these boats that are in here, you're paying a value of what the boat is worth in taxes.
I'm telling you, when you and Dre decide you're done and you retire, you guys move to a Midwest state, you guys be stretching that retirement out good.
We're gonna go buy a few 100,000 acres somewhere.
Yeah, for like 10 grand, you know?
Well, I told you that's what happened to me when I went to Spin Up 2. I was staying at the hotel and on Sunday night, and I just walked across the street to this restaurant. It was I forget what it was, like a macaroni grill, I think it was. And we're in there, and there's hardly anybody in the place, and I'm by myself. So I said, "Can I just eat at the bar when I have a glass of wine and have some dinner?" Oh yeah. So over there we start talking and everything, and we were talking about wine and with the bartender, and we were having a really good conversation. And then one of the waitresses came up. She got into it, and she goes, how do you know so much about wine? I says, oh, I used to own a liquor store and got into collecting wine and sitting as a judge at a fair. And she goes, well, where? I says, in Orange County. She goes, Orange County. I says, Orange County in California. It was like I ended up with the plague. They wouldn't talk with me, do anything until I just finally asked the bartender. I says, what did I do? It's like we were having a great conversation and I said something wrong. Did I offend anybody? He says, you mentioned California, and here in Austin, what we've got the problem is all the people of California are coming in here, and these were surprisingly younger, but they were conservative when I found out later. You're coming in here, you're buying your new place, you're buying another place, you renting the place out, you're jacking the rents up because you're paying more for that property you just bought in order to cover your investment. And it's jacking all the rates up and buying everything up, because that's when Chris Hope took me for a drive to go see some of these homes. And it was either a 5 or 6 year old home almost 3,500 square foot home on a half-acre lot, completely fenced in with a pool. Gorgeous, a craftsman style home, single ranch story
Right.
style. And he goes, "How much do you think that's worth?" I says, "Well, I don't know. California is the only thing I base it on." I said, "If it wasn't in the area that I live in inland, I would say probably at least $750,000. And he goes, "Really?" And he goes, I said, "And that would be a steal." And he goes, "You want to buy it?" And I'm going, we'll move you here. We'll move you here. Because this is like an outskirts suburb of Austin. And I just sit there going, "Oh, I'd have to talk this over with my wife first, or I'd end up 6 feet under, or a backhoe he brought in." And so he goes, I go, "Why?" And he goes, "Oh, because if you're going to do that, I'm going to go down and buy it tomorrow. I'm going to buy it for $345,000 and then turn around and sell it to you for $750." It's ridiculous for what it was. Because
yeah.
if that house was here in this area, you'd be talking today probably over $3 to $3.5 million for that same house to be put in the area where I live.
Even though that house technically maybe cost 70 grand to build. 70,
Oh, I'm
80.
sure it cost more than that. It was really well done. A lot of block and everything else and brick.
Even if it was $100,000, I can't justify looking at something that I know cost 100 grand to build, and then somebody's putting a $2 million price tag on it, and I'm like, the fuck,
Exactly.
you know? I guess it's all what people are willing to pay for shit, because I wouldn't pay
Well, to
for
give you an
something.
idea, when we had the fire here at the house in the garage,
Mm.
we did some additions on our. We took apart a closet and took it over to enlarge our master bathroom, and so this is added into the price at the end of it. So that added on, but to redo the house, the garage, and then they tore off like the wall that's here. This wall, the upstairs wall, the wall to the family room, the other side, the upstairs side there. So this was it was a bedroom, it was my office, the bedroom above, and then the family room on the other side. And then the garage and the rafters and all the roof had to be redone, replace the whole entire roof of the whole house. All the insulation had to be redone. Some of the windows had to be taken out because of the vinyl windows that were on there. And then our bathroom upstairs, the insurance coverage on just the damage of that alone was $269,000 in order to repair it.
Jesus.
Mm.
I'm not talking a whole new home. And we were out of our home for a
Right.
year and a half. Plus the insurance paid for us in order to go, stay in another place.
What happened to your house? It get flooded or something?
No, fire.
Oh, fire.
I had an
Oh,
extension.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, I had that extension cord and I just tossed it back in after the guy did some stucco patching on the outside.
Mm.
That's about what I could sell my house for.
What's that? 200 and some odd thousand?
Yeah.
Yeah, what did you pay for it though when you originally bought it? I'm assuming you've been there a while, right?
27 years. Is it?
And I'm sure you probably paid what, a third of that?
Less than that. I paid 50,000 for it when I bought it.
Oh yeah, so you could sell it for a nice profit.
Mhm.
Like with this,
Although
paid
by
for
the
this
time I
house.
pay my mortgage off, it probably cost me more like 100,000.
You're still in front though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because originally, like for this place here, we're on a 8,900 square foot lot. I mean, it's not big. Homes in California, lots are big in this area here. But that size for our area is a good size lot. And we're almost 2,400 square foot home, 2 stories with a 2-car attached garage. I originally bought it in 80, when did I buy it? 83. for 169,000. Now, mind you, I've put stuff into it, which no one knows the value of it because of all the additions we've done. You know, we've added windows, doors, cabinets, everything, because it was all non-permitted stuff that had to be done. So the value of the home has gone way up. And they're listing it here now, like on Redfin or Zillow or any of those. They're appraising it like at 1.6 now. And it's like,
0.6 million?
yeah, but that's a fallacy figure too, you know.
What do you think it's actually would sell for if you tried to sell
Well, with the upgrades
it
and everything we
realistically?
have in here, because of everything we've done to the inside, I'm sure we could probably get about that. Then less
Fucking, what are
commission.
you doing, bro? You could be buying all the DJI drones right now. Sell that house.
And then where do you go
You
live?
could, look, you can buy a nice little $200,000 home in like Kansas or something, and then you
Well,
got
shack.
tons of extra money. Come on, Steve.
Where are you going to move to?
Find
And
you a nice
see, the
little
thing-
ranch house on the Midwest states.
That's the whole thing. You see here in California, we have Prop 13, which your property tax can only go up 2% a year, capped. So when you bought it, you know, at the 169, it's only gone up 2% a year every year that we've owned it. That's it. So property tax, we benefit. That's the one benefit we have here in California, because the neighbor that bought the house on the corner there, when it went up for sale, the gal that was living there passed away, and the estate sold it like for $540,000. It's an old home built in the 70s, but it's almost it's over a quarter of an acre.
Hmm.
And it's a corner lot. And so they went through there and did one of these, you know, one coat Charlie, lick 'em, stick 'em, remodeled the whole entire place and fixed it up. They put it on the market, okay, from 560. They put it on the market for 1.3 million. And in 2 days, it sold 188,000 over what they listed for. There was 25
nice.
people
Wow.
outbidding each other on it.
Shit, Jody, he could sell that house, move to Florida, buy a nice $300,000 home. He'd still have over $1 million left.
Well, the only problem is you pay a lot of taxes if you make that kind of profit off the house.
Well, yeah, it's
Capital
long-term
gains
capital
tax.
gain.
Over here.
Yeah, but you're talking 1.6 million, dude. And you
Yeah,
only
but you're
paid
talking
169,000.
35%
40% of it's.
35%
Yeah, but any
federal,
which way, what you paid
35
for the house,
35%
now you'd be making out.
Yep, but just 35% federal and 9.5% on state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, but what I'm saying is just profit wise, what you paid for the house, and if you sold it for that, you'd
Oh,
still
yeah.
be making out really, really well, regardless.
But then that's what everybody said. That's what, because I had
You
some
would have
friends that
enough
had-
to move to another state, buy a house, and pay it off and be good.
Oh yeah, if
and
I
have a
was to
little bit
do
left
that,
over.
I would probably think about. Arizona's too hot for me unless we moved up towards Flagstaff and that area where it's a little cooler.
Where would you want to retire though if you ever decided to move? Like, have you
Utah,
thought about
something
that?
like Huh?
Oh, Utah's beautiful, dude. I'll tell
Yeah,
you what.
I know.
There's some beautiful spots in Utah.
Oh, absolutely gorgeous.
I've been through Utah quite a few times. Very nice.
And it's
areas.
also gone up in value a huge amount compared to what it used to be.
We went up there on vacation quite a few times when I was a kid, and tell you what, there are some really nice spots up there, especially up in the mountain areas.
Mhm.
Really nice. The only bad part is the area we were visiting, the people, it was some family friends. I don't even remember who they were because I was a little kid at the time. But the last time we went out when I was a teenager, the area they lived in, but they were in the mountains. Unfortunately, you couldn't have a well up there. So you had to get your water bust in for you, like brought
Oh,
in for
that
you.
would suck.
And you'd have a big old, like, 1,000-gallon water tank.
Oh, try 5 or 10,000 gallon.
But yeah, you would have to have a
Mm.
water tanker come in like once every couple months and fill up your tank for you.
Yeah, unless you can get a well. It's like my friend that lives in Sonoma on their property. They built a custom home up there, and they've got a well there.
Yeah, there
The-
was something about that area my dad was saying about the way they couldn't drill or something. I don't know if it was an environmental thing or what, but
Well, up like at Lake Tahoe, what they did in order to cut everybody back from building, you can build a home, but guess what? You can't have a water meter. You couldn't hook up and get water. So you couldn't
Oh.
occupy your residence. You could build a multi-million-dollar home, but during the time back decades ago, that's how they were stopped. They stopped the building, and they did the same thing up in the town of Cambria.
have you seen the shit they're building up in the Appalachian Mountains now? That has become a millionaire's playground up there now.
Really?
Oh yeah, a lot of the locals that live in the small towns up in there
Uh-huh.
are not liking it anymore because all these millionaires are coming in and buying up big chunks of land and building these big mansions and shit up there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's become quite a destination for millionaires. And
Excuse me
rich
one
people.
second. I gotta close this door over here. The gardeners are coming up, and the lawnmowers are going to start up.
Yeah.
Watch the guy on YouTube who's doing a documentary on it. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, but it's it's all relative. You look at what something's valued and what it is.
Okay.
Wow, that's a nice home.
That's my uncle's house.
There'll be a couple of million here.
It's 5 million. Well, five
Yeah.
million dollars. It's £4 million. The length of that
That'd be about
driveway.
10, that'd be about 10 million here.
How
But that
many
would
how
be-
many acres is that place?
Hell of a lot.
I was gonna say.
Depending on where you're at in the United States, that could be anywhere between a
Yeah.
$400,000 or $500,000 home to a multi-million-dollar home.
Yeah, it's all about location. If it's very close to
It's on the
amenity.
Sussex. It's on the Sussex Downs.
Well, and it
So how
depends
close
too.
is it to public transport?
Is that, and it
God
depends,
knows.
is that a farmland industrial area where it's just really nice farm homes? Or is it a
It's that.
millionaire's playground where everybody has their $1 million ranches, for
His
Because that'd be
next
about
door
10 million
neighbor-
here and probably be 20 if it's near public transport.
His next door neighbor is an Arabian prince.
No, that's why.
So oh my God. So that's the property. Is that the main property? Just that rectangle and then the entryway, or is it also on the right and the left?
That is the whole house. Yeah.
So that square
That's where the boundaries are.
So the
That's-
property though that's there where it's like a borderline, is that it, or does it also go to the other side?
Is that the property line?
Possibly. It's hard to tell from there, but that's it. You can see the small drive. You can see the driveway. It's
Yeah,
towards
yeah.
the bottom center of the thing, and all of that area around it is his.
Holy mackerels, that's acreage.
Hmm.
In fact, I think the field next door to it is his as well, but he rents it out to a farmer.
Why wouldn't you, right? If you're not using all
Well,
of it,
yeah.
you can make some money.
Exactly. I mean,
Why
his
not lease it
driveway.
out?
His driveway must be nearly a quarter of a mile long.
Well, you need to research and find out what the property taxes are for that area.
Oh, God knows what he pays in council tax.
Tons.
Quite a lot, I would imagine. Yeah.
I mean, because you could find a nice ranch house like that out in the middle of a
Well,
Midwest
that
state
means
for
that
probably
building.
under 500.
the building you can see on the right hand side on its own,
Hmm.
that's his garage, and it has an apartment above it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Jody, I don't think Steve wants
But
to go from more of a tropical weather
I think
to snowy, cold.
it's got about, I think it's 5 bedrooms.
Yeah, as I
But
said,
yeah,
if that's near
it's huge.
in Australia, if that was near the coast,
It's
property
a,
values jump by double
Yeah,
if
but
you're near the coast
that
here.
looks like yeah, but see that property right there looks like a piece of property you'd see in like Kansas or
it's
Idaho or something like that.
yeah, it's about 40 miles north of Brighton,
Oh, okay.
so kind
mean-
of between the south coast and London.
That
Oh,
looks
okay.
like a piece of property where your nearest neighbor's like 5 miles away. You know, and the
Yeah.
nearest city's probably an hour and a half away. Here in the US, that'd be the area a house like that would be in.
Now, the nearest city would be
And those
Well, it-
areas tend to be very
probably
low.
about 3/4 of an hour to the nearest city.
But the reason why you can get houses like that super cheap in Midwest states is because the cost of living is super low. And that's why I said people like Ron, right, that lives in like where he does in the Midwest, right? Or the middle of the United States, there's not a high population, cost of living's really
Wyoming.
low. But he makes a lot of money. So if you can get a good job in one of those Midwest states with a low cost of living and you make a lot of money, you can live like a king.
Yeah. Well,
But
I mean,
those
he's,
jobs are
The
hard to
best
get in
part is
those
if you
areas.
can go in there and work from home.
But
he started off working for Walls years and years ago, and when he retired, it was Unilever,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he was an area manager, and his area was Europe.
Mm.
yeah, it's like the size of Texas. It ain't that big.
Yeah, it's tiny.
Drone shots, yeah. Yeah, the housing market here is very, you get a lot for the buck.
So yeah, it's about 4 million in the UK, which will probably be about 5.5 million over in your money.
About probably about 7.5 here.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you
But,
can get a good paying job in a place like Ron lives, you're gonna live a lot better than somebody living in, you know, Florida or California or New York or something like that
Yeah.
that's making the same amount.
And that thing about he's on his own now because his wife died a few years back. And he must be 94, 95 now.
Oh, that's an
Something
effort.
like that.
Here's a nice neat little cottage that's for sale here now.
And
Oh,
he's got
fuck off.
That's cheap.
he's got a house in Chichester as well. So
Oh, okay. Nice spot.
Fuck
to be
that. $55
That's only
million.
nothing. Considering
come
the
with a
fact
co-
some of the places we've got here, that's small change.
That better come with all of Dominic's girls in that house, wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
there
Yeah.
you
For
go.
that price. I better have a new one each night.
Or 7 bedrooms. Oh, 6 bedrooms, sorry.
6 bedrooms, 8 bath,
8,000, almost 10,000 square feet.
more places to shit than eat or sleep in there.
That's all you need, shit and eat.
Yep.
That's too much.
I mean,
Sorry.
that's nice, but
Ridiculous.
55 million, that's ridiculous.
I wish you could find the one here. It's not showing up because they took it off, but there's a spec home that's being, okay, to tell you in relevance where this is the harbor. So
Yeah.
that drone flight that we took the picture, I was flying right here. So I'm flying right
Yeah.
down here. This is just up here, and this is right on the
Downwind.
coast, what they call the headlands. There's another one for 25, 34, 19.
Nothing.
but there's a home here, and it's not showing here because this map is old. On the Google map.
If that's inland, then it's not gonna. You're
Yeah,
not gonna.
but it sits on the hillside. It comes up with 15 acres of property. And you see these high price homes right in here? These 11 million?
Yeah.
It takes up this whole entire lot property in here. Whole entire thing. It's being spec'd out for $100 million.
Dude, I could buy a
Nothing.
whole fucking neighborhood here for that.
You could subdivide it into, I think it's 5 lots.
Dude, I'll buy a whole block of houses here for that, and I can live in a new house every night.
Yeah, but
It's just too big.
I'll see if I can find it. They've kind of
That's just-
taken it back.
It's
but
kind of like this carpet needs vacuuming. We better move into next door for a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just trash one
change the
house and then
carpet.
move to the next one.
and
That's
it's,
what I'm saying
like
for
20,
55
it's
million,
either
dude, I could,
29 or 34,000 square foot home.
I'm just saying for $55 million, dude, I could literally buy up almost the whole neighborhood.
Oh yeah.
I could come in and just buy up almost an entire neighborhood.
Well, if you get away from the coast, you can buy up a lot for here.
Well, I could buy like
If you
Two-
want to, Paul, you can.
200 houses for that.
Are you good with that?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're good.
Oh, here, let me show you this. To tell you how
That's
far it
fucking
is, and that's
nuts,
where it all depends on location.
Yeah,
And so
especially if you've got either a view or you're near the beach.
there you go. Okay, this is where I live, right over here. I'm right up
Yeah.
by the freeway. That's with the detriment.
Yeah.
As they say, the black sheep of the family when you're on that side of the freeway. Now that home that I'm talking about is right there. This is where we live, right here.
Okay.
So we got a park right here. It's close. There's a school, elementary school across the street. You just got to go up cross over and walk over. So you're close to an
He was
elementary.
like, I should have spent the extra 10 grand and moved to the other side. I had
And
the chance.
when I'm saying the 1 point, see right there, 1.6. So when I'm saying the 1.6, if that home was just on this side of the freeway, you just increased to $750,000 just
Yeah,
by
now, is there
being
a way
across
of you
the other
getting-
side of the freeway.
Have you ever thought about maybe picking the house up on some dollies and just wheeling it across the road?
Well, you know what I did? You know what I
Well,
did is I took my drone. I just need to get a permanent one that'll just go over the cable instead of putting this picture that we have up on this floor to ceiling rock wall in our family room. And I was just going to put a plasma, a big a high definition 4K screen in there and just have it taking a picture of the harbor and then just have it up there. And that'll be the view looking in the house.
For that kind of price, you could afford to just move the freeway the other side of your house.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, Mark? That may be true, but there's one problem. I'll be dead and gone before any of the permitting can even get started.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
But at least you're close to the beach, so that's good.
Well, like I said to Justin a long time back, we were talking about Elon Musk. Because he was going to put that giga plant here for the Tesla plant, and then he moved to Texas, and for when he told Newsom to go himself, he left. They had just bought the property, had the place open. He wouldn't have even had his permits to start building, and he went over there, bought the property, built it, and was up and operational, and he wouldn't have even had his permits yet to even start.
It would have been the same if he came to Florida. He'd had it up and running probably within as long as it would have took him to build the building, let's just say. That would have been their only constraint. How fast can you get the building up? That's why a lot of companies are moving here too. Like I said, there's very little restrictions here and regulations. And then now that they've signed that whole squatter shit in, now all these investors in real estate are wanting to come down here and buy up everything now. is then they don't have to worry about people squatting anymore. They literally can be removed the same day
Hmm.
that they're reported to the sheriff's department. Sheriffs can go right to the house without any kind of court paperwork and say, get the fuck out.
Oh, well, that, the Supreme Court overturned that law. So now here in Orange County, our sheriff is turning that around. No, you're gone. We're not going to let you squat on the sidewalks anymore.
Yeah, so then that's the thing is good sheriff's departments and police departments aren't going to enforce laws that they think are detriment to the community. They'll actually stand up and say, no, we're not doing that. And there's been plenty of sheriffs around the country that have done that over the years.
That's one of
You
the
know,
things we do have here. We have a good conservative sheriff here.
Because there's some states that have tried to, say that, tell the police, oh, we're going to ban the guns. You're going to go around and get them. They said, no, the fuck, we're not. We ain't doing your bidding for you. That's supposed to go in effect on July 1st,
Yeah.
or it did go in effect on July 1st is when they said.
Yeah, I can't get used to your lot. Your conservatives aren't the same as what we call conservatives.
I don't think they're the same as what we call them either.
No.
Yeah, politics is a strange game.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't. And at the same time, I think it's not just left or right anymore. There seems to be so many different shades of grey in between those
Yeah.
politics.
Well, over here, conservatives tend to be very, they want everything ran by constitutional law, like does it apply to the Constitution, all that stuff, and as much freedoms, low regulations, small government, where the left tends to like have a large government. They want a lot of regulations.
They're more,
Like I said,
they're more
and you can
totalitarian.
clearly see the difference in just looking at two different states. You can compare Florida to California. Both of
Yeah.
them have a very large population. Granted, California is quite a bit more, but still, if you look at it, California's got some of the highest taxes. They have state taxes on your paychecks. Florida has no state tax on your paychecks, a very low base tax across the board for everybody. And yet they're billions of dollars ahead. They've gotten their state debt down by over 70%. And yet California is in the red, extremely in the red in debt. And it seems like no matter how much they raise the taxes on the people that live there, it doesn't make any difference. Seems like they go broker the more that they put taxes on everybody. It's just weird. It doesn't make any sense when you think about it. Because you would think Florida would have less money because of those type of policies. Somehow they make it work.
It's how you're spending the money you get.
And like I said, a lot of that I think boils down to the amount of regulations the state has. If you're over regulating everything, companies aren't going to want to open there. The companies that are already open there are going to struggle because you're constantly coming in saying you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to pay this, pay that. If you ask a small business owner today, probably which state they'd rather operate in, most of them are probably going to say Florida. The amount of building and businesses we got moving in down here is insane. We can't build shit fast enough down here. And our skyline is starting to look like Orlando now. Now you're starting to see like more 5 and 6 story buildings popping up. And yeah, Winter Haven's going to look like Orlando and Tampa here in about another 5 years.
We've got a couple of cities like that.
Yeah,
I-
over the past 10 or 15 years, Manchester's gained a lot more high-rise apartment blocks,
Hmm.
up to like 30 odd stories.
Yep.
they're starting to get
We've
like
got
that
that.
here
We've
too.
got that.
It looks completely different now than it used
Yeah.
to.
We've got a lot of skyscrapers in the suburbs.
I think our tallest building here is maybe 6 or 7 stories, and now you're starting to see a bunch of them.
Now, which town is that, Justin?
Do I?
In which town?
Oh, Winter Haven.
Oh, okay.
We're right between Tampa and Orlando, like right in the middle.
Oh, okay.
But it's just the amount of people. We're actually, I think, in the second or third fastest growing county in the United States right now. We're actually at the top of the list. I think we're either second or third fastest growing. I mean, they're building these apartment complexes, and these fucking things are huge. I'm talking about, we already had one that was a mile from the main entrance all the way to the last apartment in the back of the complex, and it was exactly 1 mile. And they're building on 2-3 times that size now. I mean, these apartment
Oh,
complexes are.
I just looked it up. The tallest apartment building in Manchester now is Ethan Towers, and it's 50 stories tall, 550 feet.
Holy mackerels.
We've got a couple of 30s outside of the Melbourne central area, but we've got a 108-story apartment block. 108 is the name of it. And I think it in terms of stories and in terms of how high it is the tallest, but there's one in Queensland that the aerials for the communications tower are about a metre or two taller. So there's a bit of a beefing over who's got the tallest then.
It's actually got 2 floors underground as car parking as well.
I think there's 5 or 6 in the one we've got.
And it actually steps out part way up.
Yeah.
It gets
Ours goes like
wider.
that and it's got a little observation deck halfway across.
Yeah. It actually gets wider and steps up.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to buy a compound, we have a compound for sale over here. This is one of the ones I wanted to look for. This is inland from us, just a little bit. It's about 3 miles inland in the town of San Juan Capistrano.
Mm-hmm.
So let me back out here a little bit.
Oh my God. I've just looked. There's a 2-story apartment with 3 bedrooms on the upper story and then the living quarters underneath it for sale there for 1.6 million.
Now here's the area that we were just looking at over by where I live. You go down the freeway, and this is what they call Ortega Highway, and this takes you on up and goes over to Lake Elsinore. This is the property. $150 million. Inland, not on the water, but you have a view of the water. This thing is 42 acres of property, and it's got all these homes on it. 70,000 square feet of livable space.
Nice.
And then the one, I forget which one it is, but you can put in 15 or 18 the guy's got 15 or 18 over here classic cars that are in here, multi-million-dollar cars like Bugatti and everything else.
Yeah.
But there shows you how it's
I mean, I
hidden up
guess
in the
that's
hills
cool.
and all
You
of
want
it.
like a big family compound.
Yeah,
Cause it's like, what do you need that much livable space for? Granted, I
no,
mean, if you got the money, by all means, you want to have something that big. But it's like, I guarantee he probably doesn't go in half of that freaking houses.
well, that's what it is. It's a family compound, you know?
Yeah, yeah. That's what I would buy something like that for if I had the money. You
Yeah.
know, my sister could live in one house, you know, if you had a
To say I haven't
cousin
got
or
that much
whatever, you know.
family.
You're far enough away and yet you don't have to worry about it.
I haven't got that.
It's unbelievable. They had some pictures of it years ago, and it showed inside the home. And you want to talk about a man cave? It was truly a man cave, all temperature controlled, full bar, 42.2 acres.
That's a lot of land in a prime area like
Yeah,
that too.
and so if you zoom in here, keep zooming out. Here you can see the orangey spot there.
Yeah, that's freaking.
But the view from there looks out all the way over the ocean. And this is where you get into it. And then here's San Juan Capistrano, and the mission is right here. And then if you really want to go, you go up to Newport Coast over by where Michael Jordan had a home up there. Who else had a home up there? The Lakers basketball player that passed away.
Oh, fuck. Kobe Bryant.
Gus, thank you.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
Oh, the guy that died in the helicopter.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
All right.
I think, yeah, I don't know much about basketball.
Yeah, that's up the coast, what they call Newport Coast. That's going up towards the area of Fashion Island that I mentioned about where that couple from New Zealand, the wife was killed, unfortunately.
Hmm.
But here, just looking in here, you're talking 38 million, 50 million, 89 million, 60 million, 58 million, 55.
All out of my price range.
It's nothing.
Imagine what the mortgage a month would be on a property like that. Granted, if I had that kind of money, I'd just buy the shit and pay it off. But could you imagine if you actually did get a bank loan on that and you were paying a monthly payment? So that'd be like 20, 30 grand a month easy.
And the rest.
That will be for property taxes.
Maybe like 100,000 a month.
Oh, over that.
Yeah, I wouldn't even see the point in getting a mortgage at that point. If you can afford 150 million, you might as well just buy it out.
I mean, my mortgage on 50,000, like I said, 27 years ago was £450 a month. So if you work it out, 5 million would be 100 times that. So 45,000 just on a 5 million. So 50 million, you'd be talking what did I say? 450,000. Yeah, you'd be talking like 500,000 a month.
It's crazy. Imagine what the housing insurance would cost on something like that, homeowners insurance.
I could buy 2 houses for 1 month's mortgage payment.
Yep.
Well, just the
150.
property taxes on the one there loan for 60 million, you're figuring that's a million two a year just in property tax. And
Yeah.
we're cheap here because it's based on roughly 1.2%. It's higher up there in Irvine. It's probably closer to maybe 1.3, 1.5%. But if it's based like where we live here on that as a base range, you're talking a million two in just property taxes alone.
Yeah, that thing about our council taxes, it's based on the value of your house back in 1970 something.
Oh, so it's whenever you purchased it?
No, it's even before that. It's what the house was valued back in 1970 odd. I bought mine in 1996.
So it's when the house was built?
No, it was built in 1933.
So how did they come to the fact of 1970 something?
That was when they brought in the council tax
Oh,
rulings,
okay.
and they've never changed
Yeah,
it.
there's really strange things going on.
So
That's
my
kinda-
Okay.
Kind of like what we have here then, Mark, is with what we call Proposition 13. It's locked in and we can only get an increase of only 2% increase a year because we're locked into it.
Yeah, he's
That's
saying
why
it's never
Our governor
changed.
wants it.
No, it's
13
never
kicked
changed.
out. So we can be like, if even in Texas, knowing what Chris was telling me for property tax there, it would be based on the value of it here. Our property tax, which you pay here, is about 40. What are we paying? Maybe $4,800 a year. You'd be paying in the neighborhood of almost $40,000 a year.
No, the band that your house has been put in for council tax depended on how much it was worth back in the 70s. It's
So
still
it's never changed.
the tax does increase, but the band hasn't changed.
So the tax has never increased?
Yes, the tax does increase by a percentage every year, but you don't move into another band because your house is now worth more. You stay in the band that you was set at in the beginning. So I
So
think
anybody with a new house is probably a lot more screwed than
Yeah, that's
No.
what I'm saying.
well, yeah, it's a bit more awkward getting the value of a property that was built after that, obviously. But I'm not sure how they do that. I think my council tax works out at, well, I get 25% off for living on my own. And it's £1,100 a year.
that's not bad. That's less than $100 a month.
It
A little
works well.
less.
It works out. Oh, it'd be more than that because it works out at just short of £110 a month. So it'd be
That's
more
not bad.
like
13
1300.
or so.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I gotta jump off. Paul left me as host, so I don't know if y'all are ready to go. but-
Yeah, I was just about to say I'm out myself.
Yeah.
So let's,
Yeah. Lloyd's on in half an hour, isn't he?
no, Lloyd's not on tonight. He's not feeling well.
All right. Okay.
So you can have an early night there, Mark.
I had an early night last night and Bill went on.
Well, gentlemen, good to see you all.
All right. we'll
Enjoy
catch
your
you later.
day, evening, night, morning,
Well, hold on.
wherever
I
it
thought
is.
Bill was on last night.
Yeah,
Bill
he
was on. Yes.
but he wasn't supposed to be originally. He came on Paul's and said that Bogart wasn't feeling well and he didn't feel too good anyway, so he probably wouldn't go on.
Then he changed his mind.
And then during Art's show, apparently he said he was going on, but I didn't see Art's show because Paul went on so long.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right,
So,
everybody. We'll catch
I
you
didn't
later.
get sent a link. I assume he wasn't going on, so I went to bed after Wedgie.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, we'll catch you all later. Have a good night, everybody in the chat. We'll see you later. Steve, Joe,
Take care,
Dominic,
gentlemen.
Mark.
Yeah,
Later.
see you all tomorrow.
Be in chat.